Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Sharon if you're new here. Did you know if you were planning a trip to the UK that there are some new requirements that you need to comply with? They're in place right now. So you may have seen my previous video regarding travelling to the EU regarding the ETIAS. If you haven't and you're planning a trip to the EU, I suggest you go watch that video. But I'm from the UK and I wasn't aware of a lot of these new requirements that were in place, especially of people coming into the UK. They're in place now. So let me go through the details with you. So as you can see, this is going to be brought in phases. Phase 1 is already complete. Phase 2 got underway on the 8th of January, and that's going to be for people travelling from countries like Australia, the US, Canada, all of those countries listed there under the Phase 2 section. Phase 3 is for those from Europe with a European passport. You can apply from the 5th of March, but you will have to have your application completed and approved so that you can travel from the 2nd of April. So basically, they're going to adapt a similar approach that other countries like the USA and Australia have adapted with regards to border security. It's just a measure so that the UK can screen who is coming into the United Kingdom to help try and protect its citizens. So what is it you're actually applying for? Well, it's called an ETA, an Electronic Travel Authorisation. So an ETA isn't a visa. It basically allows those who don't require a visa to travel to the UK. You now need to have an ETA to get on a plane to come to the UK or to get on a cruise ship. If you're going to be coming to the UK, even if you're just going to be, for example, your plane is just going to touch down at Heathrow and you're going to be travelling on to another European country or another destination, you will still need an ETA if you're going to be arriving in the UK at all. So what is the UK? Well, most of you will probably know this, but someone from the UK, for example me, I live in England, I live in Great Britain, I also live in the UK. And that can get quite confusing for some people as to what the UK is. But basically, the UK covers Great Britain, which is Scotland, Wales and England, but the United Kingdom also takes in Northern Ireland. So it's not all of Ireland, it's just Northern Ireland. So if you're going to be travelling to any of those 4 countries, so let me just repeat that, Scotland, Wales, England and Northern Ireland, then you will require an ETA. The cost of the ETA is £10 and this is going to be payable for everybody who travels, whether that be a baby or the elderly. So it's a bit different from the ETIAS, because the ETIAS, I think if you're under 18, you don't have to pay, and if you're over 70, that's not the case with the ETA. Every person, including babies, need to pay the £10 fee. The visa, well, it's not a visa, sorry. The ETA will last for 2 years or until your passport runs out. The ETA allows you to stay in the UK for up to 6 months at a time. If you're travelling as a tourist or you're visiting family, you've got a study visa, something like that, then you can stay for up to 6 months at a time. There are going to be some instances when you do require a visa, and you can check this online. If you're unsure, I'll post a link in the description so you can have a look whether it would be a visa or an ETA that you would need. Can I just ask, if you're new here and you're finding this information useful, if you can subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. I mainly do cruise and travel vlogs. I've started to do a little bit of videos similar to this, which are going to give travel advice, but also like videos regarding hints and tips. So yeah, if you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, let's get back to ETA. So how do you apply? Well, the easiest way is on your smartphone. You just need to download the UK ETA app. So if you have an Android phone, just go to Google Play and find that app. And if you've got an Apple phone, then you can go to the Apple App Store and you should be able to find it there. If you don't have a smartphone, then that's not a problem. You can actually just apply on gov.uk. So what do you actually need to apply? Well, you'll need a passport, the passport that you're travelling with. You'll need a method of payment, so whether that be a credit or debit card, or if you're doing it on your phone, then you'll probably use Google or Apple Pay to do it. You'll also need an email address because that's how they will contact you. So once you're on the app or the website, you will be asked to upload a copy of your passport and also a picture of the person who needs the ETA. You'll then be asked a set of questions. And that's it. It's as simple as that. You usually get a response within 3 working days, so that would be Monday to Friday. So if you applied on a Friday, you should have your response by Tuesday. But they're saying if you've done it on the app, you usually get a response sooner. If your ETA is rejected, usually they reject it if you've made a mistake or you've not provided the correct information. If it gets rejected, they'll send you an email and explain why it's been rejected. You can correct that and reapply. If your ETA gets refused, this is different. You can appeal that refusal. What you would do instead is apply for a visa. There are a few reasons why an ETA could be refused. So if you have got a criminal record, so for example, perhaps you've done over 12 months in prison, you've had a custodial sentence, then you probably wouldn't get an ETA. Or if you have been untruthful on your application, they just won't give you an ETA. In both of these instances, you would have to try via the visa process. So after you've applied, you will receive a confirmation email saying that you have an ETA and that it has been linked to your passport, and that this ETA will last for 2 years or until your passport runs out. You are then free to travel as many times as you want to the United Kingdom. An ETA doesn't guarantee that you will gain entry into the United Kingdom. It is literally just a permission to travel to the United Kingdom. Once you arrive here, you would just go to the border security like everybody else. So that's it. Hopefully it's going to be a really easy process. A lot of people have already done it now. I've read online that people are finding it quite straightforward. People seem to be getting the ETAs back a lot quicker. So yeah, hopefully it carries on like that, but we may get a bit of an influx of people now as the dates arrived. So yeah, keep these dates in mind. So if you are travelling from outside of Europe, you need an ETA from the 8th of January. And if you're travelling from inside of Europe, you're going to need an ETA to travel to the UK from the 2nd of April. So you need to keep those dates in mind. So happy travels. That's it, guys. So yeah, if you are coming to the UK, if it's on vacation, it's on holiday, there's so many lovely things you can be doing here. The cities are great. We've got some amazing castles and countryside, but I'm sure you've done your research if you're coming here. But also, the cruises come from the UK. So this is where I need to plug this a little bit again. If you do enjoy cruising, please, if you can, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you on some future vlogs.